Well, hello, good morning, and welcome again to River Valley Farm. We are back here with the 0273 truck. Apparently, I don't know how well you can make out those tracks, but anyway, we had a visitor last night. And although it would appear to be the friendly neighborhood groundhog. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is we're going to get a new belt put on it. There probably really isn't anything wrong with this one, but at the moment, but it's been laying out here in the sun for 3 years, so we're just going to go ahead and put new ones on it. These pulleys, have a listen. Kind of sounds a little dry. And that one sounds a little dry. And that one over there sounds a little dry. So it's gonna get a new idler and a new tensioner. The pulleys, the whole tensioner assembly is 70 bucks. The pulleys on the tensioner are $55. Kind of hard to go without, kind of hard to justify doing one, just doing pulleys on it. Everything else that's belt driven, you know, seems to check out. Power steering, the AC compressor I'm not so sure about, but if we turn on the air and it locks up the belt, then well, we know what to do, right? We'll just turn it off and worry about that another day. But for right now, let's see. Well, I guess I really, just for sake of argument, should take that AC compressor back off and then start replacing stuff. Well, here's something that I find very, very interesting. So I started with the top idler, or the idler pulley here, pulled it out, and you know, there it is, which it's got a bearing in it you could knock out and replace, what have you, but nobody carries those, so you get the whole pulley assembly, right? New bearing and all. And then this is one for old Quick Dick himself. Made in Canada. I wasn't really expecting that. But anyway, we even get stuff made in Canada in the States sometimes. So, you know, good old Napa parts. Oh, excuse me. So anyway, our nice shiny new tensioner assembly was assembled in Mexico. At least it ain't China. Anyway, got to put this back on and then find a pair of pliers so I could get that. Oh, I hate these hose clamps. I hate this whole design, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and go into this right now, I guess. So anyway, the top hose on this one, top radiator hose on this truck, the belt, or it passes through the belt. Okay, cannot remove the belt without taking off the top radiator hose. And of course, the top radiator hose has one of these stupid spring clamps on it. I don't like that, but I don't like either part of that. But it is what it is. We got to deal with it, right? So that being said, I guess other than whoever designed this, you're a friggin' idiot. That's about all there is really to say about that. There is let's see, yeah. How do you do that? Some of these trucks had a hose that come out over here, had a bracket that holds it into there, and then it came up and around and hooked into that, so that you didn't have to take the hose off to get the belt off the thing. And then these are also plagued with the same issue that I had on this one with the thermostat neck here, or water pump outlet, whatever you want to call it. They start leaking because it's just a piece of stamped steel. And these ones, they actually make the little billet piece for, so that you can put the billet aluminum piece on here to keep it from leaking, you know. it's this thick instead of a piece of stamped steel. So we'll probably end up doing that to this one of these days, and you know, along with everything else that we're going to do to it. But it'll come after we figure out why it won't start when it's hot. But before we can do that, we got to put a belt on it so we can actually get it up to temperature without damaging anything, right? All right, so new tensioners, new idlers, new belt. Let's make sure and see if it charges or not before we get too carried away with too much else. And just before we try and start it again, make sure that you remove all the rags that you covered stuff up with, because if not, it'll eat them and that'll be bad news. So let's go for another crank and see what happens, right? The belt was a bit of a struggle, but serpentine belts are, for the most part, neutral. She's even a little bit hard to start right here, right now. Which it's been sitting for 3 years, so maybe it should just be that way, right? See here. Now the compressor's cycling quickly. That's not good. Okay. So it's just slow to kick in like the other ones are because the glow plugs stay on, right? Glow plugs run 90 seconds whether they need to or not. I know that valve cover is not bolted down all the way, so it's getting some smoke out of there and stuff. That's perfectly acceptable at this point in time. We're getting blow-by out of there, out of the blow-by tube also. Perfectly acceptable at this point in time. It would seem that I am low on charge though for the air conditioning, and lo and behold, it looks like the compressor is leaking right out of the shaft seal. So might as well shut that part off because we really don't need it anyway, at least not right now. At least not right now. That's curious. It was on defrost. Huh. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, it charges and all that good stuff. Now we got to get the get the charge air cooler lines hooked back up, get the valve cover bolted back down, which I'm going to have some assistance of someone from Small Hands to do that because of that back bolt back there. I can't get to it, can't do much with that one. Although I don't remember if I tried doing that one from the ground or not. I might have to try that one from underneath. Might have to try that. I don't know if it'll really work or not, but as you can see, it's very it's very, very, very conveniently, oh, if I can even reach it today, the bolt hole is very conveniently back right here. I'm sure you can't see it, you know, there's no way I can show it to you, but it's there, and I cannot get 2 fingers on that bolt. So anyway, and you can't get hardly a socket and an extension in there, so you can turn it that way and so on and so forth. But anyway, all beside the point at this time. We're weeding away at it. Naturally, we still got farther to go. But anyway, it's time for lunch. Fat guy's got to eat, and then I will have to go and hopefully bale some hay this afternoon, and then come back up here when the sun's not on the back of my neck, and we'll make some more headway. Leastwise, that's what we plan on doing. Okay, so intake tubes are all on. I put it together to the air filter, even though I'm gonna have to take it back apart and replace this boot here, but that's better than running it with nothing, and it's really not cracked all that bad. So it's together. It's still hard to start. I don't like that part, but that's what we got to figure out, and that'll be for the next video about this thing. So I guess that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be back later, and we'll have hopefully be on to track of figuring out what's actually going on here.